Hello and welcome to Voices of Parenting podcast. I am so glad you're here. My name is Mussi Diskin. I am an advanced nurtured heart approach trainer. I am a parenting coach. I am also an inner wealth coach, which means that I help people rediscover and connect to the people that they truly were all along, but may have gotten forgotten along the way. So to find out more about me and what I offer, you can check out mussidiskin.com, contact me through there, respond to this podcast, find me on social media. I would love to connect and I would love to hear your feedback. To sponsor a Voices of Parenting podcast episode, please reach out to energizinghearts@gmail.com. Thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Hello, Menucha. Welcome back. I'm so happy to have you here for my audience. I know so many of you know Menucha from coming to the CTI and getting to hear her wisdom. For those of you that haven't met Menucha yet, she's my sister who, although is younger than me and in the younger half of the family, really is a huge part of my personal grounding and resetting and like keeping me truthful to my heart and pushing me to read and feel and understand deeper things all the time. So thank you for being that person for me, Menucha.
Oh,
And I'm grateful to have you here and for the audience to get to hear you today.
So happy to be here.
So Menucha, if you could just tell our audience about yourself and who are you and what do you do?
Yeah, so I am a nurture heart approach trainer. I do nurture heart approach workshops and coaching, and I also do nurture heart approach in schools, which I love. I'm very passionate about that. It's probably one of my favorite nurture heart approach experiences. I also am a writer, which is super random. And yeah, that's what I do.
For anyone out there who knows about the children's video app Tvito and has watched Elegant Ella, Menucha has written those. If you go to the end, you'll see her name. Very talented.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're very proud of that in our family. Yeah, well, today I wanted to just kind of like ask you a question and see where this conversation goes. And I'm excited about it. When I thought of it, I was like, yes, that's what I want to ask. I want to ask you to tell us, like, just in the moment from your heart, thinking about it now. We did not talk about this before. What is nurtured heart to you? What does the nurtured heart mean? What is it?
Yeah, it's so interesting because I actually had two people ask me this question like yesterday, and I was reflecting on how the answer was so different each time. Nurtured heart approach to me is a reflection of the fact that every single person is a whole entire world and is so full of purpose and potential. And nurtured heart approach is the way to approach the world through those eyes, knowing deep inside that every single person is so full of purpose and potential and is a gift. It's the ability for every single person to step into that and to be the whole world that they are.
Wow, that's so beautiful. So Menucha, what you said is so beautiful and such a like makes me just so proud of what I do and want it more and want to spread it more. But I'm thinking about that surface level nurtured heart that is, first of all, what a lot of people find because that's what they're looking for, which is like to help with behaviors and a behavior management system that works for classrooms and for homes with really challenging kids who they don't know what to do with. And so they're looking for like what to do with a challenging kid. What do we do with this kid? So for that level of nurtured heart that comes across as this is what you do, like this is the management plan. So for those that are coming with that, you know, they will find that because that is what it is. And then also just in the beginning of the learning process, when it's anything, I feel like anything we learn in the beginning, we learn it for its details because we're just kind of creating a understanding of it in our brain. Like this is what it is. And then as we don't need to remember the details because we know them already, we start to like get the deeper part. of it, understanding behind it. It doesn't just become like random things we're doing, but it becomes something that we can actually like figure out. Actually, a great example of that is I had this exercise, this trainer coach who is able, her greatness is she is able to tailor make the workout literally to anything, whether it's you and your general goals or you in the moment. Like I tell her like my right shoulder is a little whatever today, and she would come up with exercises that were specifically helpful. And the thing about that I came to understand, and she came to help me understand, is once first you learn routines and rules about bodies and rules about exercises, but once you really really get to understand the body and understand every muscle and how it works and how what each exercise is doing and how she doesn't need to like look up a routine or like follow a routine. She knows what's going on so she can tweak or create an exercise that will get right to the root of whatever we're looking for because she gets the deeper picture. So I guess like I'd love for you to speak to that what you just described versus uh, an approach that is a way to like manage a classroom or manage a family or manage a really challenging child. Like, how is it the same thing? or
Yeah.
what is it? I don't know.
What is it? What?
What is it really?
Yeah. I think we all show up from a place of managing behavior sometimes in our lives. Like when, I know for me, I just had a baby a year ago. Like when I am right away postpartum, and it's like a level of survival that sometimes we all have where it's hard and it's difficult and we just have to get through it. And so we approach it from a place of how do I get through this? And that's so relatable and makes so much sense and is even a really healthy technique because it is so much better to approach a situation from the outlook of how can I get through this as best as possible without it being super damaging to everyone in my family as much as I can. It's even part of nurtured heart approach. It's stand 3 clarity. Like I cannot do nurtured heart approach from a heart level right now. I just need to manage behavior. And yeah, okay, that's so healthy because I am going to get through this difficult situation. And then there's this space in time where I'm able to not be in fight or flight mode. I'm able to be rooted and grounded in my body. And I have the ability to connect to my heart on a deeper level. And then there are times in my life where I have more space and I'm able to have space to really go into my heart. And I'm very visual. Like I literally see it from a perspective of having space. Like there's literally space in my mind and space in my heart to consider other options. And in those moments, I can, even outside of nurtured heart approach, I can think about my day, right? So on a regular day when I'm in fight or flight, I'm doing nothing but keeping my kids alive. On a day when I am not in fight or flight and I am in a space of being comfortable in my body and having energy, I'm sitting on the floor and playing with them and connecting with them. And it's similar in this way. When I have that space in my heart, I'm able to look at them and see who they are as people, as individuals. We're all able to be individuals in our family, in our classroom. We're all able to take up space because there is space. We're all able to be this unit. Even my 1-year-old baby has a personality and is bringing something to my home in a classroom. Every single one of those kids in a space has something that they're giving. And when there's space, then and it's not just about getting through this lesson, then we all bring so much to the table. We're all this unique team and this unique flow where we all impact the world in such a unique way. And the cool thing about having those times where everyone has space and really shows up and really brings something to the table is every time I experience that on a heart level, in the hard times, the more used to it I am in the times where I have this space, the more it comes with me into the hard times. So I find myself on those hard days where I don't have space, naturally being able to create some sort of space, even in the times when there's no space. I feel like I'm going around in circles, but like let me see how I can make this more practical. So for example, I'm feeling really, really frustrated. This is the beauty of nurtured heart approach. I'm feeling really, really frustrated and dysregulated. with practice, in times where I'm regulated and we're all happy and I know who my son is as a person. I know my son is a person. My 3-year-old, 4-year-old, he's 4 now, he just turned 4, for example, takes deep breaths when he's dysregulated. So I've noticed that when I was calm and connected. And so when I was not calm and not collected and frustrated, and I caught him taking a deep breath, that part of my brain that knows that that's a greatness that he's choosing to do goes, hey, look, your 4-year-old son is taking a deep breath because this is a hard moment. And something inside my body can go, like, we've got this. We've got this. We're all taking up space together. We are a team unit, even in this hard moment.
Wow. I actually relate to that. I'm like surprised. I actually relate to that. No, because like I don't see myself as intentional as you're describing. Like I find my nurtured heart is like I'm either great at it or not great at it, and my nurtured heart is not caring which I am. And just like moving through the day to the next moment, and it's all whatever it is. Like, okay, God, whatever you give me today, that's today. Like I'm not taking any responsibility. Even though I do work on myself all the time, but it's from this place of like, whatever you want, God. It's not like from a place of like, I need to be this or I need to be that. But I relate to that in those moments where I am a crazy person. Like we have opposite, I guess, like we have opposite ways of handling that level of stress. That's like, we're not okay. I'm very, very extroverted about it and very, very like sending it at everyone around me, and frozen. I get so frozen and so like, I don't want to use any bad words here on this podcast, but I become very mean to everyone around me. But and very resentful and very sarcastic and like uptight and just mean. Anyway, but like in those moments, as I'm watching myself objectively go off the rails, and I'm like watching myself, I'm still objective while I'm subjective. I'm watching myself go off the rails. I'm also watching my family handle it, like handle me. And I'm like watching how like they're, either they're fine with it. They're just like, okay, mommy, whatever. And like they're super cool and handling it amazing, or they're also spiraling. But the way that my brain thinks, or the way that my brain is wired at this point, is to notice that like, wow, they're really not used to me like this. Like, or wow, my family is so strong that they can handle me like this. Or like, they barely even react or care. That's how confident that, they're so wise. They're so, I'm like in awe of how little damage I'm doing.
Yeah. Aw, that's beautiful.
But I relate to that, what you're saying, that like the rewiring in the calm good times actually then makes the bad times so different, because there's those pathways, those neural pathways that we built of recognizing greatness, recognizing the good, recognizing what's going right, that as uncalm as we might be, those things are evidence that it's okay.
Yeah.
And like, it's fascinating. I've never really taken a moment to be so grateful for that. Mm-hmm. But it is very, very, very cool to be able to have this sense of stability and okayness, even when it's absolutely not okay. I think that's what it is. I think that the opposite of that was so much of my life before Nurtured Heart, of feeling impending doom and like the other shoe would drop, even when things were good.
Yeah.
Like, even when things were good, being sure that really there's something else going on or about to come.
Yeah.
That was bad, because we're all bad at this life. we're all not set up for it. And it's like almost the opposite of that. It's like, whoa.
It's making me think, what you're saying is making me think about how the question you brought of the difference between using nurture heart approach on a heart level and using nurture heart approach to manage behavior. Like, this was a big shift for me also. I don't think I've ever put this into words, but this was a big shift in my life also, where I know for myself as a parent or as a person, forget about parenting, any sort of class on what I should be doing differently, or even if it wasn't what I should be doing differently, like let's talk about like eating healthy, right? So any sort of what I should be doing used to be filed away as here's another proof that you are not living your life well. You are failing your life. Here is another way that you are failing your life. And our nurtured heart approach was sort of that too. It was looking at all of the way. So we learn in nurtured heart approach how by giving energy in the negative moments, we can often be giving a message that the negative moments are a way to create, to get love. And in the beginning, that was what it was. It was, look, I'm using negative energy to give them love, and now they're going to want negative energy, and I have to learn how to be regulated, and I have to learn how to stop. And so I was really using nurtured heart approach to manage my own behavior too, because even though I was using it from a space of wanting to give them voices for their greatness, what was I doing to myself? I was saying, you know, you need to stop being dysregulated. And there was like the shift. I feel like I've said this in a past recording that we did, but like in a totally different context. But there was this day where I was outside with my kids playing, and they were so happy and having a great time. And I remember thinking, I had like this grief come up of like, I don't do this every day. And I had this like moment where I stopped and I like grounded my feet on the floor, the outside floor, on the leaves that I was on. And I was like, I took a deep breath and I looked around and I was like, I'm outside now. And like, let me look at my kids' faces now. And like, they're happy. This is also a memory. Like the fact that I never was outside until now, which obviously that's not true, but the fact that I feel like I'm never outside, I am outside now. And this is a memory. And what would it look like to be fully in this memory? Like, I don't know if tomorrow I don't know if I may never leave the house again. I may never leave the house again. But this is a happy moment. They're happy now. And I want to be here in this happy memory with them. So, what would it look like to leave behind what I've done in the past and what I might do again in a few minutes and just enjoy the air and the leaves and their laughing faces and let it fill me up? Let it be the moment that matters. And that was like a big turning point for me because Nurtured Heart Approach being about the moments when we're all regulated. And you mentioned that like fight or flight existence where I'm constantly waiting for the next time I fall apart. And that was also my life. I was always in fight or flight. I always felt like I was about to die. I was about something terrible was going to happen. I'm going to miss something and then something to me, to my kids, God forbid. Like I was always scared. And this for me was really that shift of in every moment that I am okay, allowing it to fill me up, allowing my body to experience that safety, allowing myself to be in those moments where I'm sitting on the floor playing, instead of thinking about the fact that during supper time, I'm probably going to lose it. Like experiencing the floor underneath me, feeling the toys that I'm playing with, looking at my kids' faces and thinking about their facial expressions when they're happy. You know, I do that when they're sad. I go into bed and I think about their eyes when they look so teary-eyed and I feel grief. And I'm going to look at them now. Look at what that smile looks like. Look how their eyes look when they're filled with happiness and let that go into my heart. This is a happy moment. They are so happy. They are filled with life. Look how they laugh together. Look how I am sitting on the floor holding my baby and she's looking at my eyes. Her eyes are full of trust. She trusts me. I am a mother who she trusts. I am a mother. Look how he doesn't even, my 6-year-old is thinking about nothing else. He just wants to be with me. And in that space, I can say things to him like, you know, the whole day I didn't get to spend time with you. The whole day I was running around and I was even yelling. It was a hard day. This is my favorite moment today. This is my favorite thing to do. You are my favorite place to be. And I say these things to him all the time. And afterwards, you know, I say, I am so grateful that I had that time with you today. I was waiting for it the whole week and it was my favorite time of the week. It can really fill me up. It can be that energy that flows me through. And instead of the hard moments being these moments that have to go away, it's the moments that happen in our lives that are sent to us by, you know, God for us to grow, for us to be stronger. But who are we as a family? That's sitting on the floor connecting. Who are we as a family? It's that moment where it's just us and we're just here. Even if it's a very short moment. That's who we are. That is the energy that flows in us.
I'm so emotional. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. And like objectively watching myself, analyzing myself as well, like even the way I was listening to you was like, oh, I don't do that enough. Or like how come how come like I'm always there's so many moments that I'm just white knuckling through. Like where are those moments for me?
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a second, like this is an invitation and a gift. Like this is a reset that I could take, that I could go have these moments with my kids today, that's and give them to myself and them, these memories and these moments. And of course I've had these moments and of course I have them. But it's not even about that. It's not even about like, let me go and evaluate now how many good moments I have and how many bad moments that I have and like, am I enough of nurtured heart? It's like
Yeah.
this is a privilege and a right that I get to have as a mother with a family. That I get to lean into this for today, for the future, that I get to lean into this right now. I can create some of this for myself.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's also the clarity moving forward from being in a space of um, managing behavior and just trying to make a, hard kid easier or a hard classroom easier or hard family dynamic easier. A nurtured heart is like sort of my tool or my weapon or, whatever you want to call it. My magical medicine that I'm using to like fix the situation. Um, is that we don't need to do away with that necessarily. This is an invitation and an option to borrow all the skills we learn in Nurtured Heart, the inner wealth building, the staying the greatness, the seeing the greatness, the intentions of Nurtured Heart, knowing how to find those baby steps, how to find those miracles, to make those miracles from molecules, how to see like the toll taker and just like leaning into all of the stand one, stand three, all of it, and um like we've been practicing those skills. We could borrow them to give us really rich moments of enjoying and taking pride in and appreciating like you said, the goodness of each person, the potential of each person, the purpose of each person, and just lean into like drinking that in and enjoying the deliciousness of it and hanging out there as
Yeah.
long as you want, whenever you want. Like
Yeah.
it gives us that opportunity. I feel like that's what I'm most grateful for in Nurtured Heart is the life I get to live because of it. And I get to really have rich relationships. I get to really have rich connections, and it's not ever um, only after I, check off certain checks of parenting or check off certain checks of behavior, or check off certain checks of functionality or growth or organization or even religiousness, like anything. Like there's no prerequisite. I get to have these meaningful moments and relationships with myself and others already, right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's so cool about this is also how it helps me zoom out sometimes. When the negative things mean something, when it holds meaning over who we are, and like you were mentioning, like this is the checklist, and I'm looking at it from the perspective of like how much I need to grow and how much I'm not there. When it's just a hard moment, and when I am not holding it with me, even if I've had a week of dysregulation, or even if I've had a period of dysregulation, or when I was expecting like the whole 9 months of dysregulation, whatever it was, whatever it means for me, um, I can look at it with context. Like I can be so much kinder to myself and be so much more gracious to myself when I know that this is a moment. Even it's a moment coming my way. It's a period in time. It's an experience. I am so dysregulated today, and I can even say to myself, I know why this is happening. I know where this is coming from. And I can be so much more open to the experience teaching me something, or to the experience being meaningful. Like, yes, I am not behaving in a way that is according to my values. And this is for a reason too. This is for a purpose too. It doesn't hold any meaning. It's here to move me forward. And if I can hold on to 2 days ago, I mean, this is like real time, like 3 days ago, I was sitting on the floor playing with my son. The last 2 days, I did not have the space for that. I was white knuckling it. And that memory from 2 days ago is what's carrying me through these 2 days of not being able to sit and connect with my son, because that's who we are. And this is how I'm growing. This is something that's here to stretch me, and I can allow it to stretch me because I'm not fighting it with all my heart. Like, this needs to stop now. Like, this is bad. This means I'm a bad person. This means the wrong mom for my kids. This means that, there's a mistake in the world. It is just God moving me forward, and I can allow it to, because it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't hold any meaning other than this is really yucky and I don't like it, you know?
There's so much reflecting to be done on this conversation. And I'm so happy for the audience that they got to hear it and hopefully can take the time to reflect. We need to close this portion of this conversation, but my feeling, my sense is that we're going to have more.
Yeah.
How can people reach you or find you or connect with you if they'd like to do that?
They can message me over WhatsApp or messaging at 845-293-3145, or they can email me at Menucha Klyne, NHA@gmail.com. And I'm on most of Mussi's groups, so if you're on Mussi's group, you can find me on there too. Yeah, thank you, Mussi, for this opportunity. It's always such a beautiful reset and just a beautiful way to get back into my heart.
Thank you. Thank you for coming and for giving us all the opportunity on our own hearts. And we'll see you next time.
Hey, wait, don't go yet. Take a minute to find the beautiful quality that you have, that you appreciate about yourself.